Okay, so tonight we're going to focus on, I want to just give you kind of sketching, kind of good behavior of sketching. All right, so if you've done any CADing at all, you know that you spend 90% of your life is drawing sketches. Maybe it's 75, but it's a big majority of things. And sketching well will be a foundation of just being able to make CAD that isn't what like CAD that is modifiable in the future. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go over some basic ideas, and I hope to have the people who are able to do things to like demonstrate it after I've done it. So all right, share screen. All right, so you open up an Onshape window, and I've already created a folder that I have shared with the team, TJ squared. So if you go in, if you want to follow along at home, you can go into Teams and you will find a folder called Joe folder, and you can see the stuff that I've been working on. And I'm going to create a new. So I'm going to create a new document. All right. The new document is going to be a document, and it's going to be sketch 101. Okay, so there we go. So you guys should also see this sketch 101. For the people who are just starting, this is where you pick things. You can pick things that are out in the world, and this is 3 planes. I don't know if you look at it, when you first look at it, a lot of people see all kinds of things depending on how the tricks their eyes play. But this is where the 3-dimensional CAD lives. This is the model tree, and down here are where parts and surfaces and those kinds of things show up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, and the basic way we sketch something is we use this little sketch tool right here. We grab a sketch. It says, hey, it's blue, so it's saying what's the active thing now. That's the way Onshape tells us, is it kind of highlights it in blue. And it says, I would like you to pick a plane right now. And if I had any parts, I could pick planar surfaces on parts, but I don't have any parts yet. So right now we just have this top. So let's say that we want to, so I picked the top plane, and now nothing is blue. It's just saying like, okay, I've done that. Now, first of all, I really hate seeing these other things. And so I am going to turn off all of these planes. I could have picked them here and turned them off also. Like if I wanted to, like here, I could turn it on. I could pick them out here. I could highlight it, right click and say hide. I could hide all planes if I wanted to do it in one place. So there, now I've just got this one plane. A lot of people, after a while, you get CAD, so you don't really care if it's true to the world or not. But I have to hide you guys. Hang on a second. I'm just going to make you disappear. If I'm talking too fast, or if you need to me to repeat something, please just speak up. So, all right. So I'm gonna, because I picked the top plane to see that this is the top plane. I can pick over here. I can pick the right plane. I can pick the top plane. You can actually, you see what I can do? I could grab a part in the CAD, or I can actually just grab this little block and kind of rotate my CAD also. So anyway, I'm going to click on the top, and now the plane, it's true to the plane. And let's say I want to model a square tube with a 1x1 square tube with an 1/8 inch wall. So let's suppose that I don't know anything about how to do sketches, and so I'm just going to do it the most naive way. I'm going to draw it with lines. So now I've turned this on. I'm in line mode, and then I'm going to start at the beginning. I'm going to put this start here. See how it pre-selects, and it says, okay, yeah, you want to click on that? Please do. It's telling me like, if you click now, I'm going to assume that you're going to be coincident with that thing. Now here, can you see now I'm going to assume you're going to be vertical, or now I'm going to assume you're going to be horizontal with that. So it's telling you like, not only it gives you a pre-select, but it tells you like, this is what I'm assuming if you click now. So I want it to be incident. I'm going to draw a thing over here. I'm going to draw like a square, just like a normal square here. Okay. And then I'll draw inside. And then as soon as I make a complete area inside, it fills it in gray. Okay. And then I'm going to draw a box inside of that. Why not? Because this is what I'm making, a square tube with a 1/8 inch wall. And so now notice I didn't quite do my boxes. I was pretty lazy. So, well, first of all, let me clean this up. I'm going to use constraints. So I'm going to come down, I'm going to make things that are horizontal. Let me make sure that all these guys are horizontal. And then I'm going to make sure that all the things are vertical. So now they're all horizontal, they're all vertical. And now, well, first of all, that isn't what my thing would look like. I need a bunch of dimensions on this. So I said, well, this is going to be 1. And then this is going to be 1. I click, I drag. That's one thing you have to get used to when you're in dimensions, is that you kind of need an extra click to drag the thing off the part, make it 1. All right. And then, well, I guess I want to make all these 1/8 inch, 0.125, 1/8 inch, here to here, 0.125. Man, there's just a lot of dimensions I'm having to do here, right? 0.125. So this is not the best way. This is a way. All right. And everything is black. So it looks like I've defined all of my things. Everything is good. And now I click OK. And then I can extrude this thing, and I'll extrude the sketch. It does a really good job of figuring out, and let's make it, I don't know, 10 inches, 12 inches long. So there, I've just made this 12-inch long something or other. Okay. And now, well, oh, shoot. You know what? I didn't want it to be 1/8 inch wall. It turns out that was too heavy. Our robot needs to be lighter. So I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to make this be 1/16. So I can make this 0.0625. I can double click on it. Sorry, double click on it. 0.0625. But damn it, now I've got to do this. Oh, and I didn't even do it right. 0.063. I'm just going to make it 0.063. 0.063. 0.063. 0.063. All right, and now I've got my thin wall. But oh wait, it turns out that I want my thing to be a 1/2, right? So then I can change the dimension to make it be a 1/2 by 1/16. Okay, so that's how we can make our parts that look very much like things that we need made. But if you look at this sketch, it isn't really ideal, right? Because first of all, I have the information is just the thickness of the wall, and I end up having to put it in like 4 times. And if I wanted to change it, I had to change it 4 times. And so when I'm doing CAD, I try to figure out a way to use not dimensions, but I try to use these constraints to make things be the minimum you can. So to make as few dimensions as possible. So is there some way that we could have done this exact same sketch, and we could have done it another way? Well, yes, there is. So I'm going to do the exact same sketch. So this is part 1. I'm going to hide this part because we'll use it for later. I'm going to do another sketch, and this sketch I'm going to choose to do on the front plane. Okay, and then I'm going to, so I can grab here, I can grab the front, I can grab the front plane. And now we're going to do the exact same thing, but instead of doing the the silly way. We have other tools on here, and there's a way, oh, it turns out there's a square. You can draw squares a number of different ways, or rectangles. Let's choose this is the simpler one, this corner to corner. So I'm going to choose the corner to corner one. I'm going to, yep, I want you to do here, and I'm just going to drag that out here. And now I would say, well, why don't I use this equal, and I'll just make this guy equal to that guy. All right, and then I can put a dimension of 1 on here. Okay, and okay, so I'm partway there. But now there's this cool operator here called offset. So I can either select all my parts. So when you're selecting parts in a sketch, if I select from the top down this way, it only selects parts that are all the way in. You see, it only selected these two because those were all the way in. On the other hand, if instead of that, if I select from this way down, it's just like, as long as I'm touching, you're in. So here, I'm going to not be those two, but you see, it still got it, even though, so it's anything touching. This is a very powerful tool that you can use a lot. So I've just selected all my parts, and then I can choose offset. And it says, oh, would you like to go inside or outside? And I'll say, let's go inside, and I'll go inside, and I'll make it that 0.063. Perfect. All right, so now for the low price of, oh, sorry, I'm in that mode. I try to draw another thing. So I'm going to get out of that mode, escape, and I've got 2 parts in here. So I'm going to hit Control Z to get rid of it. Phew, now I have only 1. And I'm going to drag this dimension off the part so it's clear. And now I can extrude my part. I can either exit the sketch and then extrude the part here, or I can just exit here. And how far do I want to exit? Well, let's do sketch 2, and we will go, I don't know, let's make it 12 inches also. Okay, so now we've got 2 parts, part 1, part 2. Let's call this one, rename this one called simplest sketch. And then this one is going to be slightly better sketch. Okay. So that's the second one. We can turn this guy on. I can also highlight this and say, hang on, if I highlight this, I can say show all parts, right? Even if I had 10 parts missing, it would show them all. Or I can show just the one, or I can turn them off and on one at a time if I wanted to. All right, so we've got those 2 different parts that we have chosen to draw. Now there's an even better way of making these parts. Let me hide this one again. I'm going to notice I can select it when I'm doing the sketch. I can select it even though it's hidden, right? It's on the model tree. That's the nice thing. I can turn it on, and then I could grab it if I wanted to, or I could leave it hidden. I don't even have to show it. So, all right, let me do a third way of doing this. All right, and the third way is, let's use this button here, and I'm going to just drop. Notice it expands. Instead of grabbing from corner to corner, it grabs from the center. It expands from the center. I'm going to make the 2 things equal again. Let's make this one a 2 by 2. I don't know why. Right? It's going to be a 2 by 2. And the sketch is black, and we're done. And you're going to say, Joe, wait a minute. We didn't do the thing you wanted to do because we were supposed to make this tube, right? Well, under sketch, there's this thing called thin, right? And thin takes a line and turns it into a thickness of a thing. So let's make the same 0.063. And then what are we going to make? We're going to do sketch 3. And now the question is, we have to be careful here because sometimes it would go outside and sometimes it goes inside. I wanted it to go inside and it went outside. There, now if I look at it from the proper way, I can tell which way it's going. Is it going inside or outside? Okay, it's going inside. That's what I wanted. 16th wall. I'll go 12 inches seems to be the size we're making things these days. And now I've got this whole thing, okay? So that is yet another way of doing it, okay? Of having it. So we've made not exactly the same part. We could make them all exactly the same part, but I've made slight versions of this one. Rename this one is going to be Mo Better. Except I can't spell. Okay. And now there's an even more powerful way. And let's take what we've just learned here, but instead we're going to drop down from here and choose a variable. And we're going to call it, it's a type of a variable. You can have a length, an angle, a number, or any. We're going to choose length, and we're going to have it be height. I'll just call it HHH, and we'll call it, the height will be 2, or in this case, it will be 1. I said 2, but I did 1. We'll make another variable. We'll call it width. We'll make the width 2. Enter, and we make yet another variable, and we'll make the thick, TTT, and we'll make it 0.125. Why not? Okay. And then I go in and I decide to sketch. I'm going to sketch on this part. I don't know why I'm doing that, but I'm going to because I can. It has a flat surface, and I can sketch on that flat surface. So there we go. And now what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to, well, yeah, let's make this guy here. I feel like I want to do corner to corner. No, I didn't do the right one. Corner to corner, from there to there. I'm going to tell it you should be, I don't know why, but I've decided 3 inches from this side here. And now I'm going to tell it how wide should it be. Well, that I put in the pound sign, and then I can select www. That's my width. I can do here, pound sign. That's my height. Enter. I can go to extrude. I do a thin wall, and I put in here pound sign thickness. And now I have to make sure I'm choosing the right one. There, it's going inboard. That seems good. And I click OK. Oh, I've added it to this part. I didn't want to add it to this part. I wanted it to be a new part. I forgot about that. Make it a new part. And also, we're doing 12 inches. Well, actually, you know what? I want a new variable. I'm going to make a new variable, and I'm going to call it LLL, and it's 12 inches. There. Click. All right. So we've done things 4 different ways, right? They're all perfectly valid ways. But this one, oh, notice that I just like having all my variables together. So I just dragged that guy up. But this one, we could make this, you know what? It turns out I really wanted it to be a 3x2 instead of a 1x2. Right. I didn't even have to edit the sketch. I can just go in and say, as it turns out, it's only a 10-inch tube. Click OK. And now it's 10 inches. If I wanted to check that, I can just click on a corner, 10 inches. Yep, that's good. If I click on an area, it tells me the area. If I want to know something more about the area, it will tell me more about them. If you click on, so there, it tries to guess what it is you want to know. By when you click on something, I click on 2 somethings, for instance. Like if I say, hey, I wish I knew how far it was from there to there. It tries to guess, and it's, the minimum distance is 3.606. If I want to know more information, like what's the X, what's the Y, what's the Z, X, Y, and Z being what's shown up here for min distance and max distance. Min distance and for points, min and max distances are the same. But if you did, like, what if I said, I want to know about the center of that to that line or that plane, right? Well, now the min and the max are not the same, right? So the max distance, when it says max distance, where does it mean by being the max distance? See, it's showing you what the max distance is. Can you see the black there? When I highlight it, black, boom, boom. Oh, it's the X is this, the Y is this, the Z is this. For the min distance, it tells you where it finds the min distance and what the dimensions are. All right, so that was a lot. And now I'm going to stop sharing. And I want one of you who has a CAD system up to, let's go through and do all of those different ways. Let's try and make a new thing. So who feels like they could help? We'll help you, right? You've got an entire peanut gallery here who can say like, no, upright, you're in the wrong mode, things like that. But who wants to try and drive and share with us, and we can all do this together? Andrea, welcome. Do you have a CAD system? Do you have you're in already, aren't you?
Yeah, I
Or
think
not?
I was added last year. I just
Great.
haven't done CAD.
Okay, cool. Yes, you're doing many different things, so it's understandable. All right. I see your name spelled. I got to just remember what it is. Zachariah?
Yes.
Okay, so the first part, I want to keep saying Zachariah, but that's not right. It's Zachariah?
It's Zachariah.
Zachariah. Okay. All right. So here you're up. Let's see if you can make those tubes or tubes like it. It doesn't have to be the exact those tubes, but using the similar ideas of drawing them there. So you've already made your part. Is that true?
Yeah.
You've made a new part. Okay. Have you shared it with everybody?
Yeah. Am I screen sharing?
No, you're screen sharing, but have you shared the file with everybody? You should share it with the team so that the team, if there was somebody, okay, click. So now you should click on Teams. Teams. Yes, good. And then put in TJ. Yep. There. And then don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Click on every one of these boxes should be hit the document link and share. Click, sorry, I have to get my magic pen. Yes, that's right. Okay. So click all those boxes and then hit share. All right, so now everybody should be able to get in. You should make sure you got Can Edit, which you've done. Oh, hit that share button there and that. Wait, what the team? You've already done it. Yeah, you've already done it. Never mind.
It's already done.
It's already done. Perfect. Sorry, you just were too quick. So somebody who's not Zachariah, can you make sure that he's shared it and you can see it? Is that true? Silver?
I'm seeing it. It's good.
Perfect. All right. Let's first of all, let's do the simplest box inside of a box and trying to put the 6 dimensions that you need to do to make it work. So how do you do that? You've selected, you're in sketching mode. How do we know you're in sketching mode? Well, actually, yeah, we're in sketching mode because this sketch is highlighted, and we have things that you only see when you're in sketching mode. All this bits here, actually all these bits all the way out, this entire thing. If you were to leave the sketch for a second here, just X out of there. And now do you see that top line has all changed?
Yeah.
Right, it's all a very different. So now you can go back in and right click on this guy and hit edit. Yep. Okay, and now we're in sketch mode. All right, so tell us what you're going to be doing as you're doing it.
Do I press dimension?
First of all, we're gonna use the lines. We're just gonna draw lines. We're gonna draw a box, boom, 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 and then another one inside of it.
Like this?
Sure. Actually, you can be super lazy about drawing your box. You can just click 4 points in space, and then you'll get it. You can make them, you can constrain them later. So you were able to draw individual lines. It wasn't doing a string. Click, click, click. It didn't draw us when you were in here. It didn't go. You just drew one line and then you drew another line and then you drew another line. It didn't have to. It wasn't like drawing like a string. Is that true?
Yeah.
Because that's different than my behavior. Is that something that I've got set up because of I'm in SolidWorks mode? Is that true?
No, I get the string as well.
Yeah. Why didn't you draw? That's interesting. Did you hit an escape button or something afterwards? You just clicked one click and then you drag and you click one click and then
Yeah.
you drag and you click one click here. Can you select everything? Just drag and select everything and let's delete it because this is important. So get out of the sketch mode. No, not out of the sketch mode, but out of the or actually now read that sketch. Oh, you
I'm
undid
aware of what
everything.
was
That's
done.
fine.
I figured out what was
Okay.
done. So
Okay.
what was done is a click and drag instead of a click, 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 click.
Oh, I see. All right. Yes.
Clicking
So
and
the
dragging
normal
just
way.
makes one line.
Got it. All right. I've never done it that way. Okay. So get back in this line in that mode there. Turn on up at the very right and then click. You're going to have to eventually. So you might as well start from the 0 point. Yep. Click, drop, dot, and then move over. Click again. So you're taking and clicking and dragging. Just do a click and then a click and then okay. Click and then click, drop, click, and then now move to your next spot. And I don't know why it's not doing
That's
it's
confusing.
yeah, I think you're clicking, holding, and letting go. You should just like click one time, let your finger up, click another time, let your finger up, click another time, and it will draw the line for you. Let's try it again. So you can undo it again. Click. So you did
Wait,
one
what?
click here. You just did one click here and then
I
you didn't
clicked
hold it
that
down.
and then I clicked. I didn't hold it down. I clicked and then I clicked again.
That's really odd.
Okay, there's something different about your mouse setup that I think anyway, maybe it's yeah, so I'm not sure what to tell you because it normally like yes, if I were to go in, you guys you stay right here. I can go if I go over to his Silver, can you inhabit his screen and just see what happens when you do it? You know, like you join his setup and then edit this file. Is it working the same for you or different for you?
That was
Oh,
all
we can't.
done
Yeah, we
by
can't
just
see
click, click,
your.
click, click. I can take over the screen share if you'd like.
Okay, all right. So no, just go ahead and just you draw the 4 boxes and then we'll worry about it in a minute. So just keep going. I'm sorry for the delay for the confusion. So just draw a box inside of a box. Who's driving?
That's me right now.
Oh, okay. So sorry, Zachariah, you should drive. So I would start from one of these points. Start from that point there because you're eventually going to have to tie it to something anyway. Okay, so click, then move up. You want it to be horizontal. Yeah, click. Okay. Yeah, now it's a string. Click. Yep, good. Click. Click. You don't have to be so careful because you can fix it later. Okay, so that now you've drawn a complete box and it broke the string because you clicked on something that it already recognized. And so now draw a box inside this box. I don't understand why it's why it breaks. It's breaking the string for some reason instead of, okay. And then click from there to there. Perfect. Good. Make it a complete circle. Make it a complete. Well, now let's fix this. Okay. So there's a thing here called, nope, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do what you just did. Undo that. All right. So no, yeah, go redo again. One more redo. There. Okay. Let's use this icon up here, right?
Yeah.
Click on that guy. And then now click those two dots. 1, 2. And it's like those two things are the same thing now. All right. So they went away. Then let's get out of that mode. All right. So now let's make everything horizontal. That should be horizontal. So go into horizontal mode. Just make sure everything is horizontal. 1, 2. Yep. If you want to see, you can actually turn on this sketch is pretty simple. So if you go over here, you can show constraints. Right. So now it's telling you what it assumes everything is. So this guy's horizontal, that's vertical. The problem is, I think this guy. Oh, can you highlight this little guy here for a second? Okay, so I think you're going to be fine because these two are parallel. They're parallel to each other. And they're 90 degrees to this one. So I think you don't need the vertical, but you could put it in. It doesn't hurt to put the vertical in. Yep, just click on that and that. Yep, and so now there. So now everything that's vertical should be vertical, everything that's horizontal should be horizontal. And now we have to put the dimensions. So that to put the dimensions in, you go into dimension mode, right?
Yep.
And you make the lines, you make these lines 1. Click on the line and then drag your dimension up off the part. Yep. Drop, click, and then put a 1 in. Just type 1. Enter. Yep. And so now you have to zoom in. Let's turn off the dimensions because we don't, the constraints, we don't need to see those anymore. Turn off the constraints. Go over here.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we got 1 on the one side. We don't have this dimension here. Let's dimension that guy. Yep. Now we're in dimension mode. Notice the blue. Click, drop, click. Put in 1 there. Okay. And now we need to put in those, I guess we're going to make it 1/8. So click one line and the other line.
I should do the same thing.
So you should click on one line and then you can click on the other line and then it'll know the only way I can dimension those 2 lines is horizontal. Or you can note it. So exit this, hit escape. You were in a bad mode. Put that back on. Click on one line and then the other line. Yep. And then drag it off the part. Now put in 0.125. Sorry. You can't do it twice. If you do it twice, it's going to complain. So just take and drag that part. Just drag that guy off the part. Drag it off to the right, or the left, one way or the other. Yep, off the part. You want this guy over here. You want the dimensions outside of your part. This is the part, and you want to have your dimensions so we can see them. Perfect. Yes. And now make that 0.125. Exactly. Okay. And let's do the same on now this guy. Or however, yep. And then drag it off the part.
Like over here.
Other side would be good. I think over there would be better. Up here would be even better still. Okay. We're getting there. We got 2 more to do. You've already dimensioned that one. It's not going to be happy if you do this one. Go ahead. See how it made it gray? The gray one is saying because it's already it's over constrained. So it's like, I'm just going to make this one a reference dimension.
Do I
You see?
delete
So
that?
you can leave it or delete it. It doesn't matter. You would need to do these two here. Yep. Get into the dimension mode. And then drag it up here. Sorry, it's just I've forgotten how much that's where I like in engineering drawings there. Yeah, that's where we like them up there. Exactly. Yes. And then do this one here and this one here and put it over here. Yes, great, perfect. All right, so there we go. Now, how do we extrude it?
Oh, this.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so it's asking you, what do you want to extrude? And it's saying the edges of something. We don't want to do the edges of something. We want to do the whole sketch. So click X on this guy. And then you can either pick the section here. Yep, click there. Click. Are you clicking?
I'm clicking.
Right there?
I'm clicking.
Oh, sorry, we're in a surface. Sorry.
Oh.
We need to be in we need to be a solid.
Do we do new or add?
New.
Okay.
Because there's nothing else. We don't have any parts, so there's nothing to add. Yep, that's good. And then how far do we want to go?
1 inch.
Sure. Okay. And then I think that's all we need to do, and click OK. All right, let's turn the part a little bit so we can see it. All right. No, yeah, there we go. Okay, so there we have our 1 inch long tube. All right. Andrea or Carolyn, you want to try and do the second way that we did it? We can make a sketch.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So why don't you start sharing, and then you'll be in the hot seat. Ryan, you are not set up yet. That's correct. Okay. So Zachariah, can you stop sharing? And then
Okay.
Carolyn, can you start sharing? You can edit the same file, or you could edit my file, or you could make your own in your own directory. It's up to you. Okay.
What should I call it?
Whatever it feels good to you.
Carolyn, really quick.
Yeah.
I noticed that in your folder you have 3 different documents for each part.
Yeah.
So once you've made that document that you're making right now, I want to show you something that you can do.
Okay.
So if you look down in the bottom left, there's that little plus sign. So you can like add part studios from there. So you can make all of your parts in one document without creating a bunch of different documents and having to convert.
Oh, okay. That's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the second method?
Okay, so the second method was to use the offset, draw a box and was the offsets. Is that right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we want to use the draw the box method. Yes. Good. All right. Good. And we want to use the offset tool. Yes, exactly. Great. So if you ever do this, you can actually enter negative numbers in here if you wanted to, but I hate doing that. So I always try to drag it to the right way before I do it. So you could have left it pointing outward, and then just
Okay.
added minus something or other, but I never do that, but you can do it. I'm just letting you know. So, all right, so very good. If you ever find out that you did the wrong thing, rather than blowing up your sketch, you can just enter a negative number. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so very good. You made, this is an enormous tube, by the way, right? This is 3 by 3. And how thick was the wall?
1.
The wall is 1? I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Measure that for me. Measure the thickness of the walls.
Oh.
So all you have to do is highlight them. So just pick on here and then turn it around and pick on the inside wall. There, now turn the part, and pick the outside wall. Pick right there. Good. And right down here, it's going to say it's a half an inch thick. Okay, that's fine. All right. Very good. So let's imagine that we don't want it to be that much. Let's make it 2 by 2 by 1/8. That feels large, but also something that we sometimes use. So edit that.
Wait, how
So
do
are
I?
you, okay, so right click on the sketch, right click, and
Oh,
then hit
wait,
edit. Yeah, there, now you're in. Okay. So make it 2 by 2. Good. And make it be no, we need to be 1/8 of an inch thick. Now you're editing this, no, you're editing the length of it, the extrusion, the depth of the extrusion. Okay. And we wanted to, instead of that, you want to edit the thickness. So I want you to edit the hang on.
Oh, okay. Okay. So like this part right here.
Yes, that thickness of the part. So you're not in the right click on sketch and hit edit. Yep, there. Now you've got everything. Okay, and just change this number. How come I'm not in edit mode? There we go.
Like that?
Yes, exactly. Okay. All right. And 1 inch is, let's say, a 4-inch long thing. I think it's 4 inches long. Okay, perfect. All right. So that's the second way. All right. What was the third way? The third way was to use the use the thin section extrusion method. So Ryan, you don't have a CAD, is that true? You're not signed up for Onshape yet, is that right? I'd have you drive, but I can't.
I
You
signed
can't
up.
if you don't.
Um,
Do you have an Onshape account right
no,
now?
I signed up. I signed up and I was following your tutorials and I put my email in.
Okay,
the
so tell you what, I will
chat.
you start sharing your screen and make a new document, and I will have you on before you get it pulled up. So hang on a second. Copy link.
All right.
I need to go to my account. 1 second. Teams, TJ squared, V, add. Okay, you should be able to see it now. Sometimes you will have to do a refresh. I think I just added you. Did I just add you? Hang on a minute. Let me check. No, I just added Zachariah a second time. All right, hang on a minute. I did the wrong thing. Don't do this live. Copy email address. Now you're in. Okay. So you should be able to, so there now Teams is added, right? Click on this arrow next to the Teams. and TJ squared, right? Okay. And so where did you make, you made a file? So you have this, you have everything. Where did you make a file? Have you made a file yet? So why don't you make a folder? Let's make a folder, and then you can share the folder, and then you'll be able to do this. I don't know, how come I can't some people I'm not allowed to I can't draw, and I don't know why.
It's
Okay.
usually because they're sharing a tab instead of their entire screen. Usually if
Maybe.
they're running Zoom through a Chrome tab instead of a window.
I see.
Which may be caused by a Chromebook rather than Windows computer.
Okay. All right. Well, I can't point to things. So you're doing great. Just click OK or click create now. And now there's your folder. Right click on that and hit share. Oh, here you can, there's the share button over here. There's on the far right. Or you could hit either use the share or you can hit the, yeah.
You don't actually have to share because it's already in the team folder.
Is it?
Yep. You can see it alongside Joe
Okay.
folder, Lynn's folder, Owen's folder.
Everyone else can see it also, not just him. You're sure?
Let me make 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's already there. Yep, it
I don't think so.
exist.
I think he's got to
Actually,
share.
I have to refresh.
Click on right click on your name, Ryan, right click there, and then hit share. Down. Yep, there. And now choose Teams. Put TJ in. Yes, there it is. And then click the link document and the share document. You have to hit both these buttons. Go back to Teams. We didn't do it right. Yeah, there we go. There and there. Hit that button and then hit TJ again. Type TJ in there. Is it not coming up? Yep. There we go. Click. Now hit share. Okay. Okay, so now everybody can see it. Okay, you can close it now. All right, so go into your folder and create a new file. And now anything you create in this file will be shared with everybody. So now create a document. Sorry, not a file. Create a new document. Okay. Ryan's first CAD. All right, perfect. All right, so now we're gonna make, I can't draw on the screen, so you're going to make, all you have to do is draw a box. We're gonna draw a box the simple way. And then that's all you need to do is draw a box because we're gonna extrude that box. So, yep, there we go. We sketch. You click on the sketch icon up on the upper right. Yep, click there. And now tell it where you want to draw on. You're looking like you want to draw on the front. So click the front. You can either click the space there. Yep, that's good. And now let's draw a box. However you want to draw a box. Click. Yeah, good. Get it. Now turn it on. Click one time. Now it's blue. That means it's activated. And then click on that. And you want to have one of the corners be at your 0. So let's use this the upper right-hand corner right by the search toolbar. There's this incident icon. Right, to your right, to your right. Very far right. I can't, why can't I draw? I hate this. There's, keep going. It's right, it's a little bit to the left. There's a search toolbar or search tools, and then there's like a little, I don't know, little man. It's the character for person in Chinese. Yeah, click right there. And then click on this center dot, that's origin dot, and one of your corners. Good. Okay. So now you need to put the dimensions on. The dimension is right next to that the little incident icon. Move one over. Yep, click there. And now you're in the dimension mode. Click on a line, drag it up and drop it. and make it, I guess, let's make it a 1 by 1. You click on a line, not on a corner, on a line. Yeah, if you can click on the corners, but then you have to do 2 clicks. So click on the line, click, and then drag. X, yep, there we go, and drop. Click. Good, and then enter the number 1. It's gonna be a 1 by 1. Okay, and then you can either make it a 1 by, you can either put another dimension in, or you could do this drop down next to that, the incident button, and make them equal if you wanted to. Drop down, make them equal. Good, and then just click one line and another line. Okay, so now everything is black. You're done. Okay, and now we can either hit the check mark and get out of the sketching mode, or we can go right into the extrusion mode. I would go right into the extrusion mode, upper right hand corner. Just click on extrude, and then it automatically fills it in for you. It's like, oh yeah, I see you were sketching something. How do we do that? Let's make a thin extrusion. Thin. Got to click on the upper right. There's surface, solid. Yep, click there. And how thick do we want it to be? Why, we want it to be 1/16, so 0.63. 0.063. Yep, good. And then let's make it 12 inches long. Okay. And then click OK up here. Click. Did it work? Oh, we didn't tell, somehow it lost the blue box. So go back to extrude, right click on the extrude, right click on this extrude in the model tree. See the model tree is red. There it says extrude 1. Down, down, right there. Right click on that and hit edit. Yep. And just where it says blue, just click on this sketch here on the left. The thing that says sketch on in the model tree, right above extrude, it says sketch 1. Nope, the other extrude, the extrude to the on the model. Yeah, there we go, right there. Exactly. Click there. There. And now the question is, look at this. Zoom in on this box so we can see what it's doing. Zoom in closer so everyone can see. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Okay, now, oh, we've lost it. So you've got to click on the sketch again. Click. Okay, so it looks like it's going outside of our part. We don't want that. So you have to click on the arrow next to the 0.063. It's like, go the other way. Click on that. If you click on it, there. Now it's going inboard. And then we click OK. All right, and let's see move the part so we can see it. Rotate the part. Yeah, use the center mouse button, I think. Or I don't remember. My fingers just know what to do.
For the default on shape.
Okay, use the right mouse button to rotate your part. There we go. Okay. So you've made a 1 by 1 by 12 inch thing. So Andrea, are you still with us?
Andrea appears to have left the call.
Okay. So, all right, who wants to take and make this all variable driven? Do you remember how we did that? Okay, so why don't you take this exact file, all right? So stop sharing, Ryan, Zachariah, you open that exact file, the exact same file that he had, okay? And let's edit that file and add in variables instead of doing it this way.
How do I open the file?
Okay, share your screen and we'll walk you through it. Okay, so click on the Onshape button up here, the upper left-hand corner. Click Onshape.
Oh, where was it?
The logo in the upper left.
Oh,
Yep. And then click on Teams. Click on this little icon next to the Teams, and then TJ. And you should see his, yeah, exactly,
Oh,
right?
okay.
And then double click on that file. Okay, so now actually, if you look right up here, can you see that there's somebody else editing the file too? So it's fine. You can more than one person can edit a document at one time. This is super useful. If you get stuck, you can ask somebody to help you. You can ask Silver to jump in and do things, and like you can watch and say, ah, now I see how to do that. And anyway, so this is a great and terrible thing. If you're all working on the top level at the same time, it can really confuse people. So anyway, just letting you know that you can see if other people are editing while you're doing this. All right. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I want you to put all of the variables up here. Okay. So we're going to add all the variables, but the problem is the model tree is saying the next thing you're going to do, I'm going to start putting them on the bottom. Right. So we have a magic thing. We can grab a hold of this and just drag it up to wherever we want to in the model tree. So why don't you do that? All right. Sakurai, just grab a hold of this guy. Can you see your hand and click on it and drag it up? Two more. What there, right there. Boom, drop it. Okay, and now anything you add is going to go in the model tree right there instead of being in the bottom. All right. And so now we need to make, I think we had 4 variables, right? We had a variable width, length, width, height, length, and thickness, right? So in order to get this here, you use this icon is how you add variables. So click on
Joe, I'm gonna have to log off for the night.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot, Silver. Good
Have a
job.
good night.
Okay. So now, all right. So now these are all lengths, right? If we were doing something where we were trying to define an angle, we might want it to be an angle. If we were doing something where we wanted to have some math, we'd maybe make it a number because maybe we didn't want it to have inches or millimeters or whatever associated with it. And sometimes we just have it be like a text or something. So we're going to make all of these variables are going to be length. So all you can do. So, okay. And just click in the name, right? And make something that will help us remember that it's width. You can call it the word width. You can call it W. You can call it, I don't know, width in another language if you know one. Okay. And then you put in and then down there you put in how wide you want it to be. Let's make it 2 because why not? Okay. And then click OK. All right. And then add another variable. Just keep adding 4 variables. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is going to be height. It's already length. It's length by default.
So how do we make it height?
Just type the word height. Or H. Yep. And then, I don't know, let's make it, make this 0.5. It's going to be a tall, thin something or other. I just want to make it different so we can see that something has changed when we get done. All right. Make another one called thickness. Or T. I don't care. Yep. And let's make it super fat. Like, let's make it 0.5. No, 0.5 is too thick. It'll make a part that's crazy. Make it 0.1. Yeah, just 0.1. So it won't quite be 1/8 of an inch. It'll be something. And then we want the length. I don't know. Let's make the length pi.
5.
No, pi. Make it, just type the word pi. Yep. And you want, yep, there you go. Okay. Okay, click OK. And now roll the model tree down to the end, or you can right click and say roll to end. Right click and the model tree anywhere. Right click anywhere and hit right click.
Where do I right click?
And then say roll to end. Yes, good. Now there we are. And now we're going to edit this sketch and we're going to stuff in your variables rather than his hard-coded numbers. Okay. So edit the sketch, right click on the sketch, click edit. Beautiful. All right. And now instead of this 1, all right, you double click on that. And then you put £, put the word £sign in, and then choose, I guess that's the width, W. Yep. All right, and click enter. All right, now put another dimension on. I'm going to show you something new here. All right, put another dimension on because we need a dimension for this guy, right?
Yeah.
Where's the dimension number? Here it is, right up there.
Oh.
Click, click, drag it off. Yep, click. Okay, click. Okay, now hit £, whatever your £, make it the, that's the height we said, right?
Yeah.
And then hit enter, and everything's going to go red. Go ahead. Now, why did it go red? It was like, hey, this your constraints, and it showed you the constraints that are offending. And this is the one that's the offensive one that you really have to think about, right? So just right click on that and hit delete. Yep. There's a thing that says delete sketch at the bottom. Oh, sorry, you're still in this mode here. You got to get out of the dimensioning mode. And then when you click on that, you can hit delete. Yep, boom. Okay, and now it's fine. All right, so then we can exit the sketch because that's all that has in this. Now, where do we enter the thickness and the length? Oh, those go into the extrusion. At that, all right, and instead of having it be, yeah, put in the £. Yep. And then the distance here, we want it to be £L. Now you can actually enter in, okay, and then click OK. Why isn't it not happy? Why is it not happy? Doesn't like, oh, what happened here? Depth?
Oh, that's depth, not distance.
Oh, wait, no, this is not, this is 1. That's the reason it's unhappy. The thickness is not, you didn't enter that correctly. Oh, this is not, it's not entered happily up here. So click OK, and then make that 0.1 instead of 1. I got to clear all my nonsense here. No, the problem is this number. Right click on that, edit that. It should be 0.1, 0.1.
Oh. Perfect.
Okay. All right. So now we can change the sketch. We can change what happens, right? Without going in it. Instead of 0.1, we could make it be 0.125. Right, if we wanted to. Let's verify. How do you verify a thickness? 0.125. Yep. Why don't you verify? Show us that you can verify that the thickness works. What is the thickness on this part? How are we going to check? So the easiest way is to just highlight the two surfaces, like an inside surface, like click. You could, nope, you could click this surface, and then underneath you could click the upper surface. Or you could actually just click this line and this line. Okay, those two lines. And what does it say? Oh, look at that, 0.125, just like we said. What if you click this line right here? Well, first of all, notice that clicks are sticky. They stay on until you turn them off.
Yeah.
So you have to hit the escape button to get rid of all of your clicks. Or you click in space. You just click in no place, in no man's land, and then it'll disappear. Okay? So just click one of them instead. What does it tell you?
3.142.
3.14159. Yeah, that's pi. Great. All right. What about the height? Let's see if the height is right.
0.5.
We said we wanted it to be 0.5. It's 0.5. All right. Looks like it did exactly what we wanted to. All right, so that was a lot. All right, this is all being recorded. I'm going to stop recording now. Well, actually, why don't we get a Q and answer, a question and answers? I don't know what the time is right now. So why
It's
don't you stop
8:50.
sharing? Okay, so we got 10 minutes for just sort of if there are questions. So you guys are all new. Welcome. What did you think about, like, this is a trial by fire a little bit, but you know, I mean, do you see, like, okay, yeah, I can make parts. I could make things that I could build robots out of, right? So sketching is just, we just do it all the time. I mean, it's just one of the things that we do. Like, I'll tell you what I did at my work today. Let me share my screen here. I was working on, before work, I was working on this mechanism. I have to click to reconnect. You have to do this all the time. And so I'm making a kind of a press. We have some special wheels that we print at my work for our first team. And cleaning them up is a real pain. And so I'm making a press where we're going to be able to hang on a minute, shift Y. I want to just make that one disappear. So I'm going to be able to, like, we're going to have an arm on this one, and it'll make this whole thing go up and down and be like a little, like a little olive press, but it's going to be a wheel press. So if you look at it, I mean, every other sketch in my model tree every other feature in my model tree basically is a sketch, right? I sketch, extrude, sketch, extrude, sketch, extrude. So you can make pretty complicated things with with this method. When I look at, like, what I was doing at my real work, so this was what I did before work. For my real work, I'm making this fixture that is meant to, sorry, I'm gonna have to log in. Sorry. You know what? I'm not logged in. I can't do it right now. I'm not going to do that right now. Well, I'm not going to log in while you guys are all in. But anyway, it's the exact same idea. Like, the model tree would end up being a bunch of things. Notice also, this is just for, you don't have to do it right now, but like, I have a bunch of, I make a whole bunch of variables. I put them in a little folder called variables. I have the thing that holds my tire holder, you know, I have a thing that's called the press plate. These are all the features that are doing. If you notice and you highlight the model tree, it's telling you what it is that you're adding. So this is the things that add all of the bits to the press plate. These are the places I make my gears, and so on. So anyway, yeah, you can build super complicated mechanisms with this idea of sketch, extrude, sketch, extrude, sketch, extrude. So far, we've only used extrude to make positive features, like to extrude something, but you can also do it to make cuts. So you just, instead of, when you do an extrude, like here, I'll show you this one. This was, oh, that's a circular pattern, but this extrude beforehand, if I edit this one, instead of new or add, you can also remove, and then the part just like cuts a hole through a part, the same thing you sketched, instead of making a positive feature. So, this was a positive feature, but because if you look at that extrude, I did an add, right? Where in other places I do a remove, or if I was starting a brand new part, I do an add part. So, all right. So that was me yammering again. Let me stop sharing. What else? So, what other? Any questions, or too fast, about right? What do you guys think about this?
I have some experience with CAD because I did a little bit with 3D printing when I remember our first school project. We were supposed to make a board game, and I designed these little pieces and CAD
Okay.
program. I don't remember what it was, but um, I just remember making those, and like in CAD, and it was just basically what you taught us today,
Okay.
like
Okay.
with the shapes.
Cool.
And also my dad does this for work, so it's
Okay.
I find it really interesting.
Cool. Zachariah, so how'd you, you know, it seems like you're picking it up pretty good. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Carolyn, can you show them the box that you have made, or you were in the middle of making? You would just put your name on it.
Yeah, sure.
So I work at a company called Form Labs. We make 3D printers for a living. We make a kind of 3D printer. We make SLA, which is turning goo into resin and into parts, and we also make one that turns powder into parts, SLS. And if you design something, I can print it. So I have infinite prints, and so this is a little box that she has put together. If you read up in the CAD channel, there was a homework assignment. You don't have to do the box your way. Can you show us how it goes together?
Oh yeah.
So actually, first of all, you should make a new version because now you have your name on it.
Yeah, I did that for the cover. I just forgot to do it for the base. So
Yeah.
you do this and then this,
And then
right?
you should put in like now with my name on it. So leave the version the same. Leave the V, you had V something or
Can I do
other,
that?
right?
This?
Sure. It's just I guess as a practice that people typically do is they leave the V2 in front, and then they
Okay.
put the information behind,
Okay.
so that you can just get used to like, oh, V2 is bigger is before. I don't have to read a little War and Peace novel to
Okay.
know that the V2 is the one that's after, V1. Okay, so now you're going to go over to your assembly, and you just need to update it. You need it's this icon right up to the blue icon to the right. You don't need to install it again. No, don't install it again. Just update. Just click this button here. Yep. Update all. Did it work?
Oh,
Yes,
that's
there it
way
is.
easier. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So she has made an assembly here that has her two parts in it, and you can see how they fit together. And she's refining it, but so the homework assignment is to make a box like this. You can make it as interesting. If you wanted to make it a different shape, you can make it a hexagon shape or whatever shape you feel you want to. And you can put your name on it, or you can have it rounded corners. Anyway, lots of different things. So if you make it, then I will print it and you will have it the next build meeting, probably Saturday or something, depending on how long it takes you to do it. So yeah, so that's possible. Okay. Any other things? Any thoughts people have? Cool. Welcome. I'm really, really excited to have more people on the CAD team, and yeah, we're going to do some great things. So I'm going to hit stop on the recording. Hang on a minute. How do I do that? Record, stop record. There we go.